Good morning. This is No More Toxic People, and today I am beginning a new playlist where I plan to focus on the aftermath healing. Now, I know I have several playlists that are dedicated to this subject. However, I will not be talking so much about narcissism in this playlist as I will be about lifestyle changes and healthy living after abuse. I have gone through a lot of problems in my life before the narcissist entered the picture, and I find myself somewhat, and I'm sure we've all done this, using what I went through with the narcissist as maybe possibly an excuse to excuse my own bad behaviors and choices. And so I'm beginning a new plan in my life. It's time to do some cleaning. I'm going to lay my phone down here in the seat while I'm driving, and I'm just going to talk as I drive. I'm going to try to keep this short. If anyone decides to stick around and hear the subject matter of this video, if you like it, leave a like and a comment. If you have a subject in mind that you would like to discuss, leave a comment and we will make a video and we will interact and discuss this. For myself, the cleaning up is going to involve my choices that I make. And one of those, the most important one in my life at this moment in time, is my health. I have had health issues before the narcissist came into my life, and I have kind of in the last year or two not really focused on those and have kind of let things go. And recently I find myself suffering from some problems related to weight gain. I have lived a healthy-ish lifestyle for about 8 years now. I made a decision about 8 years ago that I had to lose some weight. I was at an all-time high weight in 2012. I had gone on a little 3-day getaway, a weekend type getaway, and I was miserable. It was in the 90s. I couldn't get out and walk as much as the other people in the group. I was uncomfortable getting into the swimming pool, and I was just miserable physically and emotionally over my weight. And I made a decision that whether I was able to lose a large amount of weight or even if I lost no weight, I was going to live healthier. I made a decision that I was going to take better care of myself, and I did that. And I gave up pop. That was the first thing, pop or soda or whatever you call it, where you are from. That was the first decision that I made. And I stopped drinking pop. I haven't had one since then. That is one of my better choices that I've made in my life, and I don't regret it at all. Over the next 7 or 8 months, I lost a total of about 72 pounds through healthy eating, lifestyle changes, and exercise. I began to walk, and I began to take better care of myself. I began to add more exercise. Walking had been a miserable concept for me before this, and I became somewhat addicted to it once I started to lose weight, and I started feeling good, getting out there on the trails and the walking track, and taking part in some 5Ks locally. It made me feel good. Not only physically, because the dopamine and the endorphins in my body and all that was making me feel physically good, but I began to feel emotionally better about myself. As I began to look better and lose weight, I began to feel better and have more confidence. And I kind of had a little incident where I was injured and I was unable to walk. And what should have been a learning experience for me, that should have been something that just said to me, you need to slow down and you need to find some other outlet, some other form of exercise, such as, and I couldn't even ride a bike. I mean, an exercise bike. The doctor wouldn't even allow me to do that. I could have done weights or something, just like the upper body. That should have been a learning experience. It should have been something telling me that it was something that I needed to slow down and change a few things. But instead, I kind of became depressed, and I kind of allowed myself to fall back on some bad habits, and I began to use alcohol a little bit more often as kind of a outlet, going out with friends and taking part in drinking and eating foods that I knew were not good for me, and I began to gradually gain some of that weight back. Now, I didn't gain it all back, and then when I got to a certain point, I put a stop to it and made myself get back to watching what I ate. And over the next 8 years, since then, over the last 7 years, basically, since the accident, my weight has fluctuated like that. It's been up and down, up and down. During the time that I was with the narcissist, I began to see my weight slowly beginning to creep back up because of the self-sabotage and the sabotage on his part that I didn't recognize at that time. I began to gain weight again, and I caught myself before I let it get too far out of hand. And so I've had to go back and forth with this. It's a struggle. It's a constant struggle and a constant battle with my own self. And I have found that recently, in the last 2 or 3 months, since all this, and I'm not blaming anybody or any outside force, it's my own decisions that I've made. But since the shutdown and the coronavirus pandemic, and everybody's been at home, and it's kind of almost like a comfort. It's almost like the way some people hoard. I've kind of turned to food as a kind of like cushioning for my outlet, toward my feelings toward all this. And I find myself the last couple of months, probably the last month at least, really beginning to struggle. And I've noticed I'm getting some health problems coming up. And I've decided to put a stop to this and to get back on this healthy lifestyle, this healthy track that I fall off of sometimes, and I have to find my way back to. But that's where things stand today. I am back to eating healthy. I don't believe in diets based on the fact that they fail. You may lose a good amount of weight on a diet. You may go on keto or Weight Watchers or Atkins or one of these other type of diets, and you may lose a lot of weight and you may feel great. But as soon as you decide, I've lost the number of weight that I need to lose, and I'm going to go back just, eating what I want, you're going to gain it back. And so for me, I choose, whether it's keto, Weight Watchers, or whatever, I choose to stick with it. Because once you choose something, after a while, just as it was with me at that time, after a while you will begin to hit a plateau, and your weight loss will stall, and you will no longer lose the weight that you once were losing. So right now, my focus is just 1 pound at a time. I'm not setting a X amount of pounds, or I'm not putting a number to it, and I'm not putting a date. I'm not going to say, for example, I'm going to lose 22 pounds by August or September. I'm just going to say I'm going to work each day. I'm going to get up each day, and I'm going to exercise, and I'm going to plan out my meals, and I'm going to shop for that meal planning, and I'm going to eat healthy, and I'm going to focus on improving my health while also losing some weight. That will also help me to improve my health. So this is my goal, and I will check in from time to time, and kind of like an accountability, the way that you do with Weight Watchers or any other program that you follow. You go once a week, once a month, whatever it might be, to be held accountable, to see if you're making progress. There is a great website that I will recommend to anyone who's interested in healthy lifestyle. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to even be about weight loss. It can be about any health issues. There's pages dedicated to polycystic ovarian syndrome. There's pages dedicated to diabetes. There's groups that you can join based on what it is that you are interested in, or what it is that you want to accomplish. And it's called sparkpeople.com. It's free. You can follow a diet plan, or you can input your own foods that you eat and calculate the calories and fat content and all that, so you get kind of a idea of how many calories you're consuming, fat, protein, carbohydrates, cholesterol, whatever it is that you want, you can add to your plan. And it's just a really good website. You can interact with other people, and everybody's really supportive. And there are coaches that you can turn to if you're having a struggle with some problem, and you can talk one-on-one with them. And I've been on this website for a couple of years now, and they really help me a lot. It helps me a lot to blog and to read other people's blogs, and the encouragement that you get. And even when you're struggling, people are more likely to encourage you and to understand what you're going through than to belittle you, or to, make you feel like you're failing. And if you've been a victim of a narcissist, if you've been a victim of narcissistic abuse, you already feel somewhat like you failed. You come out of that relationship confused and unhealthy, emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, sexually. You feel like you've failed, and you feel like you've been failed. And so you find encouragement. You don't even have to interact if you don't want to. You can just read what other people are posting. You can read articles, and they just offer support. They help you to come through issues and problems that you might be dealing with. And I encourage anybody out there to use this. It's a free website, sparkpeople.com. And no, I don't work for them. I'm not trying to get paid or anything. I'm just telling people about it because I find it to be very helpful. And I want other people to find what works for them. It might, you might find another website that works for you, or a support group, and it is a kind of a online support group. And so that's just something. I'm just pulling in here, and I'm getting ready to get me a little walk in this morning. So I'm going to end this video now, and I just wanted to say thanks to anybody who takes the time to watch. And if you have anything you'd like to discuss, like I said, just leave a comment, and what it is that you are working on in your life to improve things in your life and your surroundings and your health. And that's just kind of what I wanted to share. And I appreciate everybody for watching, and have a great day.